Hi guys, it's Arielle from Fix My Books, and today I'm going to teach you how to maximize your tax savings by using a health spending account, or HSA for short. So what is a health spending account? So a health spending account in Canada is a form of a private health services plan that is available to incorporated and unincorporated employers. That just means it's available to sole proprietors as well. So the health spending account has different rules in terms of CRA eligibility, depending on if you're a corporation or a sole proprietor. And I will talk about that in a little bit. So an HSA provides health benefits that are 100% deductible to employers and 100% tax-free to employees with no monthly premiums. So this means that you don't have to pay a set amount each month for an HSA, unlike a traditional insurance where you have to pay, let's say, $100 or $200 a month. An HSA, you only need to pay if you have a health expense or a claim. So the HSA provides the health benefits that are 100% deductible to employers. This just means that the whole expense that you would pay, let's say to your dentist or your doctor or something like that, is going to be 100% deductible to your business, right? So it's going to become a business expense. And when I say 100% tax-free to employees, it means that when the employees are paid out of the HSA or reimbursed for the expenses, it is considered a non-taxable benefit to the employees. So the good thing with the HSA is you have two types of tax savings. Number one, since it's going to be a business expense on the employer side, that's going to lower your income taxes payable. Number two, since it's a non-taxable benefit to the employees, you're not going to pay taxes on the benefits, the health benefits that you receive from your employer. So that's why an HSA is so great. So this could allow you, the HSA, and your employees to be eligible to claim a variety of health and dental expenses without co-pay or category-specific limits. So with a traditional insurance plan or health insurance plan, they could tell you, oh, you're only allowed to claim, let's say, health in terms of your eyeglasses or things like that. Let's say only up to $1,000 a year. So anything related to your eyesight, only $1,000. Well, what if you're a person who needs special prescription glasses and contact lenses, and that's not enough for you? It means all of the expenses over $1,000 in a traditional health insurance plan, you're going to have to pay yourself. So that doesn't happen with an HSA, although you do have a limit in terms of how much you can claim on the HSA, depending on your employer, or if you are the employer, you're the business owner. Setting the limits for your employees will be up to you. But other than that, they can claim anything they want on the HSA, provided it is allowed by the HSA. So they can divvy up their, their allowance themselves. So if you give them, let's say, $1,000 a year in terms of the health benefits with the HSA, it's up to them how they want that divided, right? So there's no limit on your eyeglasses. There's no limit with the dentist. It's up to the employee on how they want to spend that money or how much they want to claim for each different service provider. That's what's great about it. There is no limit in terms of the eyeglasses that you can claim or the contact lenses that you can claim. It's really up to the employee on how much they want to claim for each specific category. So it's good because it's more custom to what you actually need compared to a traditional health insurance plan where they tell you your limits. So how does an HSA work? Again, it converts the personal medical expenses of the employee and or owners who are also employees into business expenses, right? So it becomes a business write-off. Again, this allows the business to transfer money tax-free from the business to the owners and employees to support their health and wellness. So am I eligible for an HSA? So if you're a sole proprietor, you just need to make sure you have these three things. Number one, owners. who are also employees need to behave as true employees. It means that they should be actively engaged in the business on a regular and ongoing basis. Number 2, they need to earn their living from their business. So in the current tax year or previous year, more than 50% of the total income of the owner must be derived from the business, or their total income from all other sources other than their business should not exceed $10,000. So this means if you're running your business, and maybe you get some interest income, or maybe you invested in some stocks and you have dividends, so your other income should not exceed $10,000. So the HSA is not going to apply to someone who has, let's say, a full-time job and then they're just doing their business on the side, where 90% of their income is from their job and then 10% is from their business. So an HSA is not going to apply to that. You are not going to be eligible for an HSA. So employers need to have at least one qualified employee and not an arm's length employee. This just means that if you're a sole proprietor and you want to get an HSA for your business, you need to have a qualified employee, an employee who's not related to you, your spouse, or your partner in the business. And the employee must be full-time and has been employed by the business continuously for at least 3 months. So you have to just think about this as you need one employee who is not related to you, who is employed full-time. So those are the 3 requirements for you to be eligible for an HSA as a sole proprietor. So for the corporation, so you have one less requirement if you are a corporation. So number 1, same as the sole proprietor, you need to behave as a true employee in your business. Again, you have to be actively engaged in your business, working on your business, and that will satisfy that. So shareholders also need to be paid as true employees. So this is the second one. So if you are paying yourself through dividends, you are not going to be eligible for an HSA. So you need to get a T4 from your company, right? So the corporation needs to be able to run payroll for you and issue you a T4 at the end of the year for you to be eligible for an HSA. So you might be wondering, oh, Arielle, do I have to wait for the T4 before I can get an HSA? The answer is no. So if you have a corporation, you're under the payroll as a real employee, meaning that you're on a payroll schedule, you've remitted payroll taxes for yourself as an employee and owner of the business to the CRA, then that's fine. The moment you've remitted payroll taxes for yourself under the business, then that makes you a true employee. You don't need to wait for the T4 to come out at the end of the year before you get an HSA. So the moment you remit, you can get an HSA, which is great because you don't need to wait a full year. Okay, so who is covered by the HSA? So if, let's say, you own a business yourself, obviously you're going to be eligible with the HSA, but who else in your family is covered? So if you have an HSA under your name as the business owner, these are the people that can be covered by your plan, meaning that you can submit medical expenses on behalf of these people mentioned here, and they will also be covered by your HSA. So number 1, who is covered? Spouse or common law spouse, unmarried, unemployed children under 18, children and grandchildren of the employee or employee spouse, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, nieces, or nephews of the employee or the employee spouse who were residents of Canada. So literally anyone who you can claim on line 33099, 33199, you can claim on your HSA. They will be covered by your HSA. So what can I claim on my HSA? So you can check the CRA online for this. This is a link to the website. These are the eligible medical expenses that you can claim. But I will also walk you through a list of things that you can claim with an HSA. This is a list that I got personally from my HSA provider, and I just want to walk you through it so you at least have a more concrete idea of the medical expenses that you can claim. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm going to walk you through what you can claim with your HSA, but let me just let you know how this works. You pay for it first yourself, then you get the receipt from the dentist and submit it with the HSA provider. Once you submit it to the HSA provider will then invoice the company for the expenses that you claimed from them. And then once the company pays the invoice of the HSA provider, the HSA provider will then reimburse the money to the employee that made the claim. So here, examples of eligible expenses. You can see this is broken down by province. So this will also depend on your province, but you can see a lot of things are in common. So acupuncturist, audiologist, chiropractor. If you go to any of those medical practitioners, you can submit those claims to your HSA. You can see there's a very long list here. I'm not going to go through it, but let me tell you something. Optician, optometrist. These are two medical providers I go to all the time because I have very bad eyesight and I have to get my glasses regularly updated for the grades. So you can see there's quite a bit that you can claim, as well as prescription drugs and medicines, vision care, dental care, right? Like in teeth cleaning, scaling, x-rays, examinations, all those things. Even periodontic services like root canal. It's very good. You can claim a lot of things on your HSA. Health equipment or supplies, health, dental, and travel insurance fees, ambulance services. I was a bit shocked by this. I didn't know that you could claim this, but apparently you can. So in vitro fertilization fees charged by a licensed authorized medical practitioner, you can claim those fees on your HSA. So here is the list. It may not be extensive enough for you. If you have specific questions, I would recommend that you pick an HSA provider and ask them directly. This is just the list from my chosen HSA provider that I wanted to show you guys. This is in no way telling you guys to go with the HSA provider that I chose. I'm just telling you guys that this is what is eligible on my HSA plan. Hey guys, I hope you liked the video, and please don't forget to subscribe so you can tune in to the next videos in our tutorial series here on YouTube. And once again, this is Ariel from Fix My Books, and I'm here to help you fix your book.